Today on Dr. Oz, it's our 10-day total body overhaul. Feel more energized, less stressed, and healthier from head to toe. Dr. Oz has your strategy for holistic health. Plus, scams found in the juice aisle of your supermarket. Dr. Oz sent an undercover team to expose the most common traps. Coming up next on Dr. Oz.
It's a new year, but I know a lot of you are still feeling like your old selves. So today, I have a 10-day total body overhaul rooted in holistic health that will have you feeling more energized, less stressed, and healthier from head to toe. Take a look.
According to the theories of integrative medicine, good health starts in your digestive system. When everything is in good working order, your stomach and intestines absorb vital nutrients and expel unhealthy toxins. But if your gut builds up too many toxins, it's as if your body's trash collectors go out on strike. The waste starts to pile up, creating a breeding ground for illness, inflammation, and fatigue. Some doctors now believe this is a major reason why many of us gain weight, lose energy, and spend our days feeling sluggish and exhausted. But now, many alternative medicine doctors believe that you can reverse the process, flush out the harmful toxins, and replenish essential nutrients. Today, a total body overhaul to transform your health and restore your well-being in just 10 days.
Joining me are integrative health heavyweights, Dr. Jim Nicolai and Dr. Tony Lodog. Welcome to both of you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Lodog, why do so many folks need the kind of overhaul we're going to offer today?
Well, you know, I think health is sort of like, you want to think about it as like putting money away in your savings account or for retirement, right? And a lot of Americans spend much of their time withdrawing, right? We eat too much alcohol, too much carbohydrates, too much processed foods, not enough rest, unhealthy relationships. I mean, it goes on and on. We feel tired. We're just taking all this money out of the bank. 10 days, if you can take 10 days just to focus on eliminating foods, things that aren't good for you, rejuvenation, strengthening, it'll make the other 355 days better, and you'll put money away for your retirement so you don't age prematurely. You'll have more energy as you get older. So that's really the purpose of taking these 10 days today, is to set the stage for a lifetime of health.
Dr. Nicolai, at the end of the 10 days, if folks do what we're offering, what are they going to feel like?
Well, hopefully you'll feel a little lighter, maybe especially around your waist. You'll have more energy. You'll sleep better. You'll eliminate better. You might even have less aches and pains.
You want to know about the 10-day overhaul, everybody? Interested? Come on over. The 10-day total body overhaul. The first step is to toss the toxic waste. Dr. Nicolai, take it away. What foods we have to get rid of?
All right, so if you're already following the Total Rapid Weight Loss Plan, you're doing this. But the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of the processed foods. So anything that has refined flour, vegetable oils, sugary drinks. The next, we want to be able to make sure that we're not eating anything that's not organic, especially dairy, which is loaded with things like growth hormones and antibiotics. And then ultimately, we want to try to make sure that we're not eating food that's not wild. So all those meats, chicken, pork, red meats that aren't organic, and all those fish that aren't fed a wild diet but are farmed. That's one of the things you want to eliminate.
All right, so once we get rid of the stuff that are theoretically anyway toxic for us, we want to switch to anti-inflammatory foods. And Dr. Lodog, you've created an anti-inflammatory protein pyramid. Take it away. And if you can, I want everyone to be real clear on this. Taking things away is relatively easy to do. Putting the good things back, that's where the challenge is.
Exactly. So this is an inverted pyramid, right? So at the top, we're really looking at the things we want you to focus more on. So plant-based proteins. A lot of people don't realize a serving of chicken, 3 ounces, is 21 grams of protein. A cup of lentils, which is 2 servings, 1 cup is 2 servings, actually has 18 grams of protein, 15 grams of fiber. It helps you feel more full, and it gives you the protein that you need. Soy is also a great protein. Just want to remind you, if you're adding soy, it should be whole, non-GMO, right? So tempeh, edamame, etc. Mushrooms, great source of protein. So I really like Greek yogurt. The way it's strained and processed, it actually removes much of the sugar, but concentrates the protein. So you got 15 to 20 grams per cup. Helps you feel full, gets lots of good bacteria in the digestive tract, which is what we were talking about. And finally, Dr. Nikolai was talking about poultry and fish. Now this is, as far as meat goes, it's a very neutral meat. So organic chicken is actually very healthy for you, very good for you. If you're going to eat eggs, eggs used to be bad, eggs are good. I raise chickens, I'm a mama chicken person. We want you to have farm fresh eggs, but invest in those that are free range and that are high in omega-3s. And we want you getting 2 to 3 servings of low mercury fish per week. This reduces inflammation, it helps make you feel full, and it definitely will help you during your cleanse, during this time when you're trying to really rev up your system.
So a couple points, low metal fish, things like salmon, young fish, black cod is an example. All right, so let's move on now to the morning. So you've got your general rule of thumb of toxins, you've got your general rules for the foods you want to get into your body, and particularly the right proteins. For breakfast, Dr. Nikolai, what do you recommend?
So remember, the USDA, the American Cancer Society, wants you to do 7 to 13 servings of a variety of fruits and vegetables every day. That's just on average. If you're an athlete, if you're stressed out, if you're sick, you need more. And so I think the best way to get a bunch of a rainbow of colors is to drink it. So I'll do 2 cups of, let's say, kale or spinach with maybe a handful of carrots. I will put some chia seeds or some flax seeds, some of the vegetarian sources of omega-3s with fiber, and then I'll just flood the smoothie with berries, put a really good plant-based protein powder in there with coconut water or almond milk. It's a great way to get that in, and you've got 5 servings in one shot without having to exercise your jaw muscles.
You need a lot of fluids anyway to wash out the toxic foods you mentioned earlier.
You want at least half your body weight in water to be able to flush this in, and this is a great way to get at least 20 ounces in.
Half your body weight in ounces.
In ounces, I'm sorry, yeah.
Not kilograms.
Not kilograms, right?
A lot of water. All right, now, one of the reasons I love having you guys on is you introduce new ideas to me, things I haven't thought of. I'd not heard of microgreens before, at least in the way we're about to hear about them. You argue, Dr. Low Dog, we should be adding microgreens to our breakfast. So explain what they are to everybody, if you don't mind.
Sure. So microgreens are basically when a plant is grown in soil, when it gets its first true leaves in what we call the cotyledon stage, it's about 3 inches tall, and you clip it at that point. You all know this already, kind of baby spinach and other things that you've seen. Those are a little bit bigger. These are just a little bit smaller. Now, while you may think the bigger plants have a lot more nutrition, that's actually not the case. We do know from research that not only are the smaller plants more concentrated in flavor, they are very flavorful, but they're also more concentrated in nutrition. For instance, cilantro, you've got 3 times the amount of beta carotene in the babies than in the big guys. And in daikon radishes and in red cabbage, you have up to 40 times more vitamin E, up to 40 times more than in the big boys, right? And more vitamin C. So you can add these to your smoothies. You can add them, put them on top of your salads. So great stuff.
The flavor is tremendous. The cilantro is going to taste like cilantro with just a little bit.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I told you, very concentrated.
Explosion.
Right. Now, next idea is something called burdock root. Dr. Low Dog, I guess I've never heard of this, but I suspect most of our viewers have not either. What is a burdock root and why is it good for us?
So burdock root kind of looks a little bit like a parsnip, right? I mean, so burdock root is widely consumed in Japan and Okinawa, where it's called gobo. It's a major vegetable in their cuisine over there. So burdock root, you can take and eat it just like you would any vegetable. We made a stir fry out of it. But one of the things that you want to know about burdock, very high in dietary fiber, very high in potassium, and it contains a compound called inulin. Inulin helps maintain a healthy blood sugar, helps keep all the good digestive bacteria alive.
Satisfies you.
Satisfies you, may help you maintain your weight or lose weight. And in a recent study,
Now they all want it, by the way.
Right, but in a recent study, they used the tea, the dried burdock, they made it into a tea in patients who had osteoarthritis of the knee. Not only did it relieve the pain, it reduced the markers in their bloodstream of inflammation. So this is a potent anti-inflammatory. What did you think about it?
I love it. It's a little woody. It is.
Yes.
And I actually would compare it to the daikon a little bit in its consistency.
Yes.
And by the way, I don't remember even seeing it in a supermarket. Is it available? Am I just missing
Yes,
it?
no, it's available much more now in Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and things like that.
Specialty food stores.
Specialty food and Asian stores. You find this all the time in Asian grocery stores.
Burdock root.
Burdock
And
root.
it's also, if it's out of season, you can grind this up and also put it in your smoothie.
Throw it in the smoothie.
Get it that way.
With my baby greens.
Right?
Exactly.
All right, dandelion root tea. You said we should have this 30 minutes before dinner. Dr. Low Dog, why is this so important?
I love dandelion, right? I do. One woman's weed's another woman's medicine, okay? Dandelion, or dandelion, actually means lion's tooth, or the tooth of a lion, referring to the leaves on this plant. We're focusing on the root here. The root itself does two major things that I want you to think about when you're doing your cleanse, right? Or when you're doing this overhaul. The body comes equipped with lots of ways to detoxify. One of the big ones is your liver. And dandelion revs up the enzymes in the liver that allow your body to naturally detoxify itself. So that's step one. But dandelion also is what we call a choleretic. It makes you make more bile. And bile's job is to get rid of all the waste that you just detoxified, get it out of the body, and also to help you digest fats. So if you drink like a cup of this 20 to 30 minutes before your evening meal, if you do this for a couple of weeks, it's like helping your body, as you're going through this whole cleansing process, help your liver get rid of things that you don't really need. Very safe, very gentle. I like the roasted better than the plain.
And simple to do, right? I mean, it's just really drinking a tea. The tea doesn't taste bad at all.
It tastes clean.
Yeah, and it's something that it's easy
like,
to do, right? This is not something that's complex.
You mentioned it makes your gallbladder work better. Does it make your poop greener?
No, but it actually acts like a light laxative for some people.
All right, come on forward here. The last big item, we talked about food a lot, but if you really want to get yourself ready for the new year, be the new person you can be, you've got to learn how to deal with things on the inside that only you control, like your breath.
Yep.
So you get this 10 minutes breathing exercise, Dr. Nicolai. I'd love if you just explain it to everybody. Audience, I want you to all do this with us, so if you don't mind, stand. Take it away.
So this is easy. Remember, the breath is a detoxifier, right? So it helps with altering acid-base balance. It actually is a pump for your lymphatic system. But I think the number one thing that the breath can do is it can hijack stress in the moment. And we all know how toxic stress is, right? So what you're looking for is a way to breathe that's simple that you can pop into your day. So what I figured out is that meditation is all something that we know we should do, but it's hard to make happen. If you can meditate while you walk, it can get done. And so what we do is just time a 4-step breathing technique. So it's like, think of it as stairs, right? So you're gonna breathe 4 little breaths in, and then breathe 4 little breaths out. So it looks like this. I'm gonna sound like a locomotive, but essentially it looks like this. And then, right? So the stairs can be hard or they can be soft, right? So you can make it a stepwise process or a wave. Right? Slower, fuller, deeper, more rhythmic. That's what gets you to turn off the stress response. You can't have a stress response and breathe like that at the same time.
And so for every 8 steps, you go through the entire cycle.
Actually, you go through the entire cycle. So it's you match
Let's do it
a
once.
breath with a step.
We're going to walk. You guys walk in place. You
so
can't
essentially,
walk.
right? So each step gets a breath. So it looks like this.
Like soldiers. Can you all do that?
Yeah, so try it. So it's basically very easy. You can do it stepwise or wave.
Feel the confidence that builds up. You can find the full plan for the 10-day Total Body Overhaul on DrOz.com. Keep breathing. I'll be right back.
Next, grocery store marketing traps. Are supermarkets tricking you into purchasing something less than healthy? Dr. Oz goes undercover, exposing the most common food frauds found in every juice aisle. Find out what those labels really mean. Coming up. All new Oz, the ugly side of the beauty business. Are you spending top dollar for watered down versions? Industry insiders confess. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
I know you work hard to make sure your family gets the healthiest options, but sophisticated grocery store marketing tricks could be preying on your good intentions, leaving you with some less than healthy items in your cart. So I want you to stop being taken advantage of, and I'm exposing the most common traps found in the juice aisle. Investigative reporter and retail analyst Heather Herzog is here. So why is the juice aisle the trickiest part of the grocery store experience?
Well, it's all smoke and mirrors. You have these juice companies marketing to you. They want you to buy their product, but a lot of times you look at the labels and it's not as clear as you would want them to look and be, especially if you want your family to be healthy. So what you have to do is really look and see what they're saying on those labels.
So I wanted to find out myself. I sent 3 viewers undercover to try and buy the healthiest juice for their family, and it wasn't an easy task.
Cynthia, Randy, and Jillian wore hidden cameras into the grocery store to see if they could scout out the traps and pick the juices they think deliver on the healthy promises they make.
A lot of juice, a lot of options.
I'm noticing they have half the juices in one section and the other ones in the frozen refrigerated section. These must be fresher.
This has only 28% juice. That makes me wonder what else could possibly be in it. That's a no for me.
I'm trying to cut back on soda, and this says sparkling juice. It has the benefit of some carbonation water, and it says no added sugar. So I think I'm gonna go for it.
This one has what I usually look for. It says 100% juice. It doesn't say beverage, and it doesn't say cocktail. So I think it's probably gonna be okay.
Not from concentrate. This is really important to me. I just know it's fresher. It's one thing that I'm always looking for. This I can take home.
All right, let's see what we got here. I love carrot juice. It says 100% pure pressed. Can't go wrong with carrot juice. Not from concentrate, I'm getting a bunch of it.
Well done. Our undercover shoppers are sitting right here in the front row. And we've brought the products back that they found, but we concealed the brand names, and we're retaining the label marketing so you can actually see what made them attracted to these products. So let's take a close look at the first selection, which was labeled 100% juice, 100% juice. Now, Ethan, we heard the shoppers say that they thought it was more natural, which frankly, I've always thought it was more natural.
Of course, 100% juice. What's more natural about not having 100% juice in your bottle, right? Here's the thing. They can put 100% juice on the label as long as they're not diluting the actual product. So they can put preservatives in there. They can put salt, in some cases for vegetable juices, for example, right? Won't name any names, but in some cases they have 2 times the amount of salt that are in French fries, in juice.
Jillian, let me ask you, you're a mom, right? Mm-hmm. Does that concern you to learn about the fact that 100% juice isn't all that pure?
Well, it does, because I care very much about what goes into my kids' bodies, and what I'm looking for is 100% juice. And when I turn over and I see that it has all kinds of preservatives and additives, that upsets me. I want to know what's going into my kids' bodies.
You all agree?
Absolutely.
I certainly agree.
Yeah.
So what's your rule of thumb for buying juice if 100% is not a pure enough way of figuring it out?
Well, so I have a couple tactics, right? If you're in the grocery store, you want to go over to the refrigerator. Refrigerated juices have less preservatives because they're able to be fresher in the refrigerated aisle. Makes sense, right?
It does.
The ones in the aisles, let's say they come in cardboard, boxes, juice in a box, those tend to have more preservatives because they have to last longer in those aisles. Also, PayPal came out with a study that said that mobile shopping is up 62%. So a lot of people are going shopping online on their phones. What I like to do is make sure I read the labels, because you're not going to be able to see the juice in front of you. Read the labels online, take a picture of it. I send it to my husband in case he's going out and shopping. He knows exactly what juice to
God
get.
forbid, send your husband shopping. It's a very smart tactic. Okay, the next trap is actually a new spin and an old trick. It's using cheap fillers. Now, this is a tactic that I didn't even realize was being used in juices, but you say it's infiltrated the business.
Oh, yeah. So you have these juices, right? You're going to the grocery store, you're thinking you're getting something antioxidant, very fancy, good for your body, as you talk about a lot. Yeah. Antioxidants are good for you. So, look, you think you're getting this type of juice that has blueberry and pomegranate, right? Pour it out. You think you're getting this, right? Look at all those fresh juices. Ooh. And Dr. Oz, help me out. This is what you're actually getting.
Instead, you're getting this. And I got to say, it looks like you're getting a fruit cocktail.
It really
not
does,
that pure
right?
product. It's right.
But what a lot of these juices have are grape juice and apple juice. It's cheap filler. It's not those antioxidants that you talk about that are so good for your body, but it's this filler that's not so great for your body.
All right. Again, I didn't appreciate it was there, and we can tell by looking at the label.
Yes.
So this label we're showing everyone right now, if the middle of the paragraph has the product that you're bragging about, that's not good enough. It's got to
Not
be
good.
near the top.
You want to have it, yeah, right, exactly. You want to have it up at the top.
And then there's a big trend that you're very concerned about, sparkling juices.
Oh, yes. I love these juices. I think they're great to drink. They taste good. And you think that you're getting something healthy for your body because they don't necessarily add the sugar. Here's the thing. The actual calorie count is almost the same as a cup of soda.
That is infuriating.
Yeah.
Actually, you try and do the right thing. You buy something that you think is not soda pop, and
Absolutely.
basically a soda pop.
It's a
in
soda pop.
camouflage.
Exactly. So even though it doesn't say that soda pop label, it has the same elements to it. And the calorie count, you got to watch the calorie count.
So we had 3 smart shoppers
Right.
go out looking for products. Where do they do well? Where's an area that they actually thrived?
Well, in terms of getting the most healthy juice, you would want them to get the carrot juice that has a high potassium level and high vitamin A level. So you're getting a lot of nutrients in that. It may not taste as good as, let's say, a fizzy drink or an orange juice, but I gotta tell you, this is kind of awesome. I love it.
I'll toast to that. Thank you very much. And to our ladies, thanks very much.
Thanks,
We'll be right
ladies.
back.
Coming up, America's top ER doctors reveal their cold and flu fighting secrets, surprising stay well remedies that real experts swear by, immunity boosting tricks you need to know to protect you and your family right now. Coming up.
It's the new year, and you want to lose weight. I get it. That's why I'm here to help you with the Total 10 Rapid Weight Loss Plan. This has been a year in the making. Over 2 million of you participated, and this new plan should give you the results you've been looking for. In just a few weeks, you could lose up to 10 pounds. No clubs, no fees, just medically sound, real advice. Start the plan now. What are you waiting for? Join me all this January. Happy You Year.
Be honest, how many of you run away top speed at the first sign of someone sneezing? Well, what about the people who can't run away? How do they keep from getting sick? Like ER doctors, for example. Today we're revealing cold and flu fighting secrets from America's top ER doctors, starting at my own hospital. Take a look.
I have a simple tip to help prevent the flu. At the beginning of every shift, I wipe down my workstation. But the secret is to use an alcohol-based cleanser. Even if you don't work in an ER, you should wipe down anything you come into contact with. This can go a long way in helping you to prevent the flu.
One of the most important things you can do to prevent yourself from getting the flu is to get a flu shot. This year, almost all of our doctors and nurses receive their flu shots, and you should too.
My tip to fight off germs is to wash your hands like an ER doctor. Most people go for a quick rinse, but in order to prevent a cold or flu, you really need to spend about 20 seconds under the warm water, lather thoroughly, get between the fingers, under the nail beds, and then rinse with the water trickling down to the fingertips. And although there is conflicting data on its effectiveness, anytime I feel cold coming on, I like to take a zinc lozenge. It doesn't prevent the cold, but it does seem to cut down on the duration and the severity of symptoms.
I really like zinc for fighting colds. You can take zinc a lot of different ways. You can take it as a syrup, as a lozenge. You can add it to your diet in a bunch of ways. This is as much meat as you'd have to get your zinc, which is sort of hard to do. This is as much chicken as you'd have to have. It's like a chicken and a half. Or you can get 10 oysters, which might be doable for some folks. That gives you enough zinc to shorten the cold. But frankly, if you're not going to take the lozenges, the best thing to do is take a 3/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. Very practical, very doable. It's actually what I usually do in my own life. And probably the best way to get your zinc. Okay, the next cold and flu fighter comes from Dr. Samson Davis. He's an ER physician at Meadowlands Hospital in Secaucus, New Jersey. Welcome.
Thank you.
So he is a big fan of cayenne pepper.
Yes.
It's your go-to therapy. How do you take it?
Yes. So, well, I take it as a tea, but for me, working in the ER, we're on the front lines, germs, and I can't afford to get sick. We don't have sick days. Yeah. So the cayenne pepper comes in handy.
I knew you were going to do that. You saw he did it. It wasn't me. Now, there's a milk. I put that milk here and hid it from you for a reason.
Right.
Because you say you like these peppers?
Right. So the cayenne pepper contains a substance called capsaicin. And that capsaicin helps as a decongestant. It helps to relieve the sinus pressure, drains the sinus. It helps you to expel that congestion in your chest. So that ingredient, that capsaicin, is what gives the pepper that flavor, that burn when you taste it.
So here's the deal. The milk that I spilled was your milk. My milk is still intact because we are both going to chew into this.
Oh, man.
Yeah, of course, as a doctor and a strong person, I actually can eat the whole pepper. Can you do this?
I can. I'm not that strong.
At least you can. You got a little. I'll give you a little bit of my milk. Here, I'll give you a little bit of my milk.
Let's give it a shot.
We'll give it a shot. Toast.
All right, toast.
Let's see how we can do this. Don't think it's. Oh, I was kidding.
Oh.
No. Oh, man, it hurts. Oh, it hurts.
That is hot.
Woo. Use the milk.
Yeah.
Milk helps a lot. All right, that's not going to be smart for most people. So you say, instead of doing what we just did, which is sort of foolish, to stay healthy, you take...
strong.
You're strong, but strong. Cayenne pepper, and for the mere mortals, how much do you put into the tea?
So for those who can tolerate it, you want to put a few shakes, 1 or 2. If you one is ideal, 2 if you can tolerate it. A little bit more to taste. You want to add some lemon there as well, and fresh ginger. And you drink it as a tea, a mucus eliminating tea. You don't want to eat it raw because that hurts.
All right.
So you drink it as a tea.
Let's see what this is like. Oh, that's much better. That is much better. That would
That's
work,
great.
my friend.
Cheers.
Good luck to you, Secaucus.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we had a cold and flu fighter who really does it every day. His name is Billy Goldberg. He's an emergency room physician at Bellevue Hospital in New York City. He recently gave us, listen carefully, a hand's-eye view of his day in his life. Take a look.
Today I'm putting myself under the microscope, attaching a camera to my wrist to find out where I might be unknowingly exposing myself to germs and viruses. All right, ready to do this. Let's hit it. You want some? There you go. Hello? Hello. We're gonna go to school. I'm trying to clean your face, but it's all sticky. Good night, hands.
Dr. Billy Goldberg is here. I would shake your hands, but I have known where they've been, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you saw.
So you're worried about germs. We all are. And I saw where your hands have been, so for good reason for all of us. But you actually have a very secret but very effective flu fighter. What is it?
Yeah, I like simple things. You know, hand washing it works, but it's not perfect. The key is to not touch your eyes or your nose. I stopped picking my nose and I stopped getting sick.
It made some more friends too, I bet.
Exactly.
You know, there's some numbers about this. This is a big tip for getting out of the illnesses. The average person touches their face 16 times. 16 times an hour. An hour. Which means you're always getting germs in your hands and your face. And no matter how much you wash your hands, since we're not doing it 16 times a minute or an hour or a day, frankly, we're not going to be able to protect ourselves. So demonstrate for us that we're using this little high-tech device.
Yeah,
why it's a problem.
Come stick your hands in my nose. This is the key. So germs, when they get on your hands, so the virus, when it's on your hands, is not going to penetrate. But inside your nose, and if you look around, there's permeable membranes on your nose.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So when you're inside and you get that itch and you go up inside, you take that virus, which can't penetrate your hands, and it attaches to that membrane. The virus injects its stuff inside, it attaches to a cell, and the virus starts to replicate. And then you basically have the zombie apocalypse of viral activity, and you get your cold symptoms.
So if we don't wash our hands, but we also don't put our fingers on our face, we think we'll be okay?
You should be safe.
All right. Okay, great way to remind yourself how not to touch your face. You would use a scented essential oil. Put it on your fingertips, and then every time your hand gets close to your nose, that scent can remind you not to touch your face. Very simple idea. Do it for a couple of days. It'll train you, first of all, make you alert of how much touching your face, but also train you not to do it anymore. For more ways to not get sick this cold and flu season, you can go to DrOz.com. Be right back.
How do you fight off cold and flu symptoms?
Chicken soup is a cure-all. My grandmother's recipe is what I've sworn by for years. Anytime I feel the sniffles coming on, I make a giant pot.
Share your remedy on Facebook.com/Dr. Oz. Next, Chris Kilham has traveled the planet looking for foods and herbs with the power to heal. Find out his surprising pick for the hottest health food of 2015. It's jam-packed with health benefits and only 2 calories. Big results from a very tiny package. Next. All new Oz, the ugly side of the beauty business. Are you spending top dollar for watered-down versions? Industry insiders confess. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
Chris Kilham is the medicine hunter who scoured the planet looking for foods and herbs with the power to heal. And his pick for 2015's hottest health food actually has ancient roots. It's packed with antioxidants and phytochemicals with all these wonderful proven health benefits. You can flavor your food with just 2 calories, and it may even reduce your risk for cancer. My friends, really big results with a very small package. Take a look at why the caper is so hot this year.
Tiny, green, full of flavor. Capers are one of those mysterious ingredients you've seen on your plate that probably leave you wondering, what exactly are they? Capers are pickled flower buds, hand-picked from a shrub-like bush. Too small and delicate to be plucked by machine, each caper is picked by hand, dried by the sun, and then brined or packed in salt. But they don't just taste good, they're good for you. First used as a digestive aid in ancient Greece, today's medicine hunter Chris Kilham reveals all the other therapeutic benefits packed inside the humble but healthy caper.
Chris Kilham, come on out. For me?
I come bearing gifts.
For me.
Yes.
So you have traveled the entire world. You see all these wonderful ideas every year. Why is it you're so enamored with this wonderful little fruit, the caper?
Well, I love the flavor of these. I actually use capers 2 or 3 times a week. I make a lot of puttanesca sauce. So that's, the flavor is great. And most people don't know these exist, I think is fair to say, but foodies and celebrity chefs have decreed that 2015 is the year of the caper. So we're going to see articles on capers and recipes for them. We're going to see the whole works.
This is a caper bush.
It is.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it more in a second, but let me tell everyone why I'm so passionate about these. These capers can heal your body in a lot of different ways. They're rich in antioxidants. As Chris just mentioned, the things like quercetin in there that actually help with circulation and might help lower your blood pressure. Capers are also full of lots of vitamins like vitamins A and K, which are good for the eyes and the bones. They also have minerals like iron, magnesium, and copper. It's really packed with a lot of good stuff. And here's the cool part. Capers may even help reduce the risk of cancer, especially when they're eaten with meat. When you heat the meat up, sometimes you can cause some bad stuff on them. The capers apparently reduce that. So Chris, if I can ask a question, because this is something that I'm always wondering. There's capers, and then there's caper berries.
Right.
What's the difference?
These are caper berries. These are the fruits of the caper bush. Whereas what we typically get when we eat capers, like if you get salmon and bagels in a restaurant with capers and chopped onions, these are the flower buds of the plant. So this is more commonly consumed.
Yeah. I want everyone to try one today. Again, the caper berry is the bigger one. Let's try this section of the audience here. If you don't mind, take one and pass it down. I'll get some honest opinions. So you got one caper berry and one caper in there, one of each. So you can taste it. I'll come back to you in a minute because I want some honest thoughts on these. So, Chris, one thing I did notice I was tasting before the show is they taste very salty.
They are salty.
Just because they have 2 calories per caper, right?
Right.
So that's a lot of great benefits there. But what do you do with the salt?
I like to rinse them off. So take a few capers, put them in a little screen like this. Rinse them with some water, gets off a lot of the sodium. They're still going to be salty inside. And I didn't mention, these have extraordinary healing benefits. They help to stabilize blood sugar, and in addition to that, they're anti-inflammatory, so they've been used traditionally as a remedy for rheumatic pain.
Oh, I love it.
Since biblical times, they've been used as an aphrodisiac, so stock up for Valentine's Day.
Let's see. We get the front row here. You feel in love right now?
I'm feeling a lot of love right now.
A lot of love?
It's really good, actually. It's better than I thought.
You like them both?
I like this one better, the berry.
You like the berry?
Yep.
I like them both.
Both?
I like the berry better. Both delicious.
They actually taste very similar to me. So I know a lot of folks are sitting around with this exact bottle or something like it sitting in their refrigerator, and they have no idea how to use them.
Right.
So, we have a couple of suggestions here. I got to say, we built on the foundation, all these recipes are on DrOz.com, but of the Total 10 program.
Right.
For rapid weight loss, we have key meals that are in that program, and we just sort of built up a little bit. I made them more exotic with the capers you're speaking about.
Well, over here we've got a tomato caper mixture, which you can put onto the salmon, which is in the Total 10 program. And that gives it an immense amount of flavor, a lot of zip, and you don't miss the extra oil or fats that you might otherwise have in a dish like this.
Over here?
Over here, we've got scallops, and we also have a mixture of plum tomatoes and capers and a few spices to put on your zucchini pasta. And you can cook these together in a pan so that the zucchini really absorbs the flavor of this. The foodies are going to love you for this segment,
I'm sure. And what's the salad dressing you made here?
This is a lemon caper dressing, and this is like one of the most magnificent salads I've seen in a long time. I wish I could actually get one of these at a restaurant. And you just pour this on, low calorie, high flavor, really, really great tasting.
That's good.
Isn't it nice?
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
For 2 calories a pop, you can get the salt off it. I'm in on capers. Thank you for being with us, Chris.
Great pleasure.
You can get all these
Always a
recipes on
pleasure.
DrOz.com. Be right back.
Next, filmmaker Morgan Spurlock discusses a new growing trend, medical tourism. No longer just for facelifts and breast implants. More and more Americans are traveling to other countries for deals on medical procedures. What are the risks? And is it right for you? Next.
We are bringing healthy back this season and want you to bring it too. Grab your prescription pad for fun and sign up for free tickets today. You can go to DrOz.com/tickets and sign up. What if I told you there's a growing trend, something you could do to potentially save thousands of dollars in healthcare costs? But, here's the big but, you'd have to leave and travel out of the country for care. Would you consider it? Almost 1 million Americans travel to other countries each year for deals on dental work, hip replacements, and other tests and surgeries. Filmmaker Morgan Spurlock, who first rose to fame with his documentary Super Size Me, tackles this new medical tourism trend in his CNN show Morgan Spurlock Inside Man.
Whether he's taking on fast food, politics, or Hollywood, you can count on Morgan Spurlock to stir up controversy.
I'm going in.
He's best known for Super Size Me, where he ate only fast food for an entire month.
I got some McGas that's rocking.
These days, you can find Morgan on CNN, serving as the Inside Man, immersing himself in topics ranging from marijuana and UFOs to futurism, the science of living longer. This season, Morgan is blowing the lid off the high cost of America's healthcare system, showing us why for many people it's cheaper to travel outside the U.S. for major medical care.
So I'll be able to fly, stay, have a surgery done, and come back for less than it would cost me if I went to the hospital in America.
Yes, that's medical tourism.
Morgan wanted to experience medical tourism firsthand, so he jetted off to Thailand.
I'm in Bangkok, Thailand, and what better way to test out medical tourism than to get a procedure myself?
While on his medical tour, Morgan underwent a variety of treatments, all for a fraction of the cost here in the States.
I got a shoulder MRI, a full blood test and physical, which included an EKG, a chest x-ray, an abdominal ultrasound, and an eye exam, consultations with 4 specialists, and capsule colonoscopy. All for about $3,000. In America, the average estimated price for this entire list for the uninsured is more than twice the price, or could even be as high as $14,000.
Morgan Spurlock is joining me. Welcome to the show. So I get the cost benefits, but it's still surprising to me that so many folks are leaving this country for medical, dental procedures, big-time procedures.
Yeah. And you think, why would they go over there? And I thought the same thing until I got there. And you see these world-class hospitals filled with doctors who were trained at Harvard, at Yale, Stanford, and it's incredibly efficient.
When you travel, there are costs. You got to pay for the plane ride. You got to stay in a hotel when you get there. Doesn't it even out after a while?
You would think that it would be more expensive by doing that, but no, it's still even cheaper. Almost a fifth or more cheaper, depending on the procedure.
And again, if I'm paying out of pocket for a facelift,
yes,
it might make sense.
You look great, though.
Thank you very much. Yeah. but for folks who have insurance, is it still worth exploring this?
It is, because ultimately some insurance companies will cover these costs, but some insurances won't, and it is still cheaper. And insurance companies, if they will cover it, will often encourage patients to do it. And what I tell people, like if they're even thinking about it, they should basically write to their insurance companies. That way, they get it in writing that the insurance company says that they'll cover the procedure.
Yeah. That's a smart tip in general. Write things down to the insurance company. Creates a paper trail.
That's right.
So whatever happens, you know. Here's the thing that so surprised me. Medical tourism is not for the facelift I was joking about. It's not even for breast implants that so many people hope it will cover. It's actually for some of the most popular treatments that we now do in America. And folks are traveling abroad. Dental work, again, very expensive, often not covered.
Yeah.
Coronary bypass surgery, my specialty area, done in other countries quite well by people trained here. Weight loss surgery, again, another area where there's often a debate whether you should get it done or not.
Yeah.
I'd like to be honest with America also, though, about the risks.
Yes.
There are some things you give up when you leave this country.
That's right.
So what should we be concerned about in that regard?
Well, I mean, the most important thing is you want to make sure that you're going to an accredited hospital. You want to make sure that this is an internationally accredited institution that is filled with reputable doctors, as you said, and you want to make sure you get the cost up front. That's what all these hospitals, they'll tell you before you go exactly what the surgery will cost or what the procedure will cost, so you'll know almost to the penny what it'll be when you get there.
Before you go, can I ask you about Super Size Me?
Absolutely.
This was an iconic event for me to watch you go through this transformation. You're one of the first people to take on the fast food industry and very graphically show what happened to your body.
Yes.
if you don't mind, please remind people about the experiment first, and I want to
Yeah.
get to the nitty-gritty of what the pressures were around it.
Yeah, so I basically ate fast food for 30 days straight, and I gained 24.5 pounds by the end of it. My cholesterol skyrocketed, my blood pressure was off the charts, my liver was so filled with fat that I was giving myself what's called non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Yeah.
I remember the scene where you had to get out of your car and vomit.
Yes.
That was particularly graphic. But that was sort of the process. It becomes addictive.
It becomes so addictive. Yeah, fat, sugar, it's all the things that our bodies crave.
Yeah. And now, years later, what's your feedback on that? I mean, it's facilitated a conversation, but there were pressures as well on you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it had an impact on the industry. I think the industry responded. There are healthier options all over the place. But I think the greatest thing that movie did was kind of make people take their own actions into consideration. You know, people finally realized I should be taking better care of myself. I should eat better. I should do more for my family, for myself.
Well done. Morgan Spurlock, his Inside Man show airs Thursday nights on CNN. We'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you for rushing over. I know that.
I'm glad. All new Oz, the ugly side of the beauty business. Are you paying more for fancy packaging than the actual product you can get cheaper anyway? Are you spending top dollar for watered-down versions? Industry insiders confess. Plus, the symptoms are easy to miss. Adult ADHD. 4 surprising signs you may have it. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow. All new Oz. The ugly side of the beauty business. Are you paying more for fancy packaging than the actual product you can get cheaper anyway? Are you spending top dollar for watered-down versions? Industry insiders confess. Plus, the symptoms are easy to miss. Adult ADHD. 4 surprising signs you may have it. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
It's time for In Case You Missed It. First up, cold and flu fighting secrets from America's top ER doctors. My favorite tip, cayenne ginger tea. The cayenne pepper causes the lining in your nose to produce more mucus that helps it drain out and clears up your congestion. The cayenne ginger tea can help reap the benefits of the cayenne without having to eat the whole pepper, which is a pretty painful experience. So you add a teaspoonful of ginger, half a lemon, and a pinch of cayenne to a cup of hot water, and you're gonna love the taste. Next, we got the hot new health food for 2015. Turns out that they're capers. These are rich in antioxidants and minerals and vitamins, and they're low in calories. But you gotta remember, drain and rinse the capers off to reduce the excess salt. And if you're on my Total 10 rapid weight loss diet, the capers are the perfect way to add some variety, make it a bit more exotic. You can try, for example, the zucchini noodles primavera that we showed in the program. You take the zucchini, of course, then you add some scallops to it. Caper tarragon sauce is to die for. You can log on to DrOz.com if you want to get the recipe. And finally, please be careful of dubious people online that make it seem like I'm endorsing their products, because I don't. To see a full list of our trusted sponsorship partners, please go to DrOz.com, and I'll see you next time.